We're back looking at a move to have the Canadian government condemn the practice of sex selection pregnancy termination, Motion 408. Peggy Cook is with the Abortion Rights Coalition of Canada, and Barbara Kay is a columnist with the National Post. Peggy and Barbara, welcome both of you for being here. Peggy, science has taken us to places we didn't know it could go. Perfect babies, pick your boy or girl, whatever you want. It's a place that abortion rights did not map out when the Supreme Court threw open the restrictions to abortion in Canada. What does it mean to you that there are documented sex selection abortions taking place?
Well, what it means to me is that not that we have a problem with abortions, but that we have a problem with the value of girls. So, you know, the technology can go wherever it's going to go. But the problem here is that women feel that they have to terminate a pregnancy if it's a girl. So the issue there is that we live in a culture, we live in a country where people feel that boys are more valuable children than girls.
Barbara, in multicultural Canada, can we impose our value of gender equality on ethnic communities that do not have it?
I'd just like to respond to something Peggy said to clarify. She said, we live in a country where boys are more welcome than girls. No, that's not the case. In our country, in Canada, girls are very much as welcome as boys. There are certain communities that are where girls are not as welcome as boys, and that is the problem. Do I think we can judge these people? Absolutely. We are a nation that is built on certain democratic principles, on the equality of people before the law, and certainly on the equality of the sexes. So it is not only okay to judge people that take an alternate view, but to judge them quite severely and say, look, you're here in this country, these are our values. If you are actually translating alternate values, it's the same as if, you know, they believed in slavery.
Motion 408 is trying to keep a watertight wall from this becoming a political debate on abortion. But our conversation today shows it's proof that it started, so why not have an open public debate about abortion?
We've been having an open public debate about abortion for many years now. I think that it's ridiculous and borderline racist to say that our country values men and women equally. I think it's ridiculous to say that this is a problem that immigrants are bringing here, as if we white Canadians can't get it right on gender.
Yeah, but this is the problem, is that feminists consider it racist to criticize other cultures. So they're caught in a moral cleft stick, because if they say that this is a cultural problem, then it looks like, oh, we're being imperialist and, you know, we white people know better. But if we leave it alone, you're condoning gendercide.
Okay, and I'm saying that, Peggy, I think this is across all of Canada. This is a Canadian value, that genders are equal.
Of course it is.
I think we'd like it to be. I would love it to be. I would love it if that was true. And I think that it is delightful that Mr. Warawa would like to end discrimination against girls and women in this country. But I really don't think that judging them for the choices they make or
casting... Even though they are aborting female over males.
Yes, because like, it's not like if we say to these women, oh, you can't have that abortion, that they'll go home and everything will be peachy keen. Like, this desire to abort girls is not some ridiculous evil thing that immigrant women are bringing over here. It's a product of a patriarchal society.
That's right,
it's an evil thing that is a product. I guess what I think is it's time then to open up some of the discussion around the choices that are being forced then in a culture around abortion. You, Barbara, think that there is actually a campaign underway to keep us ignorant about abortion. What do you mean?
I was listening to Dr. McLaren here, who seemed to be condoning the idea that a woman can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 abortions, and it has no health implications. He talked about health care for women. It is settled science that more than one abortion, say 2, and it goes up escalating from there, is absolutely linked to premature birth in a future pregnancy. So you abort 3 girl babies and then you find out you're having a boy, you are at serious risk of having a premature, extremely premature birth with that next pregnancy, which could lead to cerebral palsy, blindness, autism, any number of other things. That is a health risk that women are not made aware of because the abortion lobby is so powerful that clinics actually deliberately try to steer women away from even asking those questions.
Peggy,
stuff like that.
We started this with Barbara's provocative headline that this is the Achilles heel of the abortion rights movement. Science, and now science being able to help women decide to abort females. Mm-hmm. Do you agree? It's the Achilles heel?
I don't. I think that the abortion rights movement supports now, as it always has, women's right to decide what happens to their bodies.
It's a big topic. Thank you very much, Peggy Cook and Barbara Kay.
Thank you.
When we come back, how volatile is the abortion debate in Canada? A young woman who lives under threat because of her views tells us her experience, and a doctor gives us his perspective. Those guests after this.
What we're trying to work towards here, it's a campaign of education for people that come from cultures where women are devalued. So when the government says, if you have a sign up in a clinic where you're getting the ultrasound, and if it says, the Canadian government condemns the practice of sex-selective abortion, it's not just the woman getting that message, it's her husband, it's her father, it's her kinsman, it's her whole cultural group. And what I would expect to happen and hope to happen is that cultural community leaders would cooperate with the government in making sure that the message gets through.
Peggy, you want to close this?
I think it's a great question, and I totally agree. I don't understand how placing judgment on a woman making this decision helps anything. Like, if the government is saying to her, we condemn this practice, well, that's great, but what are you going to do about it?
Okay, I'm going to have to